What if I told you a tree could live twice? It sounds a bit strange, right? Well, today we're going to dive into a story that shows us exactly how that's possible.
So what if the key to a sustainable future was hidden in, of all places, a children's coloring book? I mean, it's a pretty wild thought, isn't it? We're always looking for these super complicated, high-tech answers to our biggest challenges. But maybe, just maybe, the real solution is all about making big ideas simple enough for absolutely everyone to grasp. Let's find out. And here it is. This is the source for our explainer today, a coloring book called The Forest Becomes Home. Now, its whole purpose is to take the massive, super complex world of forestry and sustainability and, boil it all down into these simple stories about trees, wood, and, I love this phrase, happy constructions.
Okay, so what's really driving this whole thing? Well, this quote right here just nails it. Today's children will be tomorrow's consciences. That really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? The whole project is built on this belief that if we truly want a better future, we have to start with the kids, the very people who are going to be in charge of it one day.
And look, don't let the crayons and coloring pages fool you. This story has some seriously big ambitions. It's actually designed to connect with huge policies like the EU's Green Deal. The thinking is pretty straightforward, right? If you want to hit these massive environmental goals, you're going to need a generation of people who just get it, who instinctively understand why sustainable resources are so important.
All right, let's dive into the story itself. It all kicks off with this really simple but honestly pretty profound idea. A forest isn't just a bunch of trees. It's a living, breathing home.
So say hello to our main character, the Great Fir Tree. And this isn't just any old tree, it's basically a bustling city of life. You've got hedgehogs chilling out at its roots, robins nesting up in the branches, and our guide through this whole thing, a squirrel named Hazelnut, who calls this very tree home.
And this is where the book does something so smart. It uses this whole scene to introduce a huge scientific concept, biodiversity. But it doesn't hit you with complex jargon. Nope. It just calls it the secret of a happy forest. How great is that? It's just a brilliant way to explain it.
And check this out. This just perfectly illustrates that whole idea. The story calls the trees condominiums for animals. It's such a perfect analogy, right? It immediately helps you, whether you're a kid or an adult, picture a single tree as this thriving, high-rise apartment building, just packed with different residents.
Okay, but the story doesn't just stick to the easy stuff. It tackles a really tough question. What happens when a tree has to be cut down? And it introduces the answer with this very powerful phrase, a wise and gentle decision. And this is Antonella, the forester. Now, what's key here is how she's portrayed. She's not some kind of villain threatening the forest. Not at all. She's a caretaker. She shows up with her notebook, and her job isn't to destroy anything, it's to observe, to count the animals, check on the mushrooms, basically to make a careful, scientific assessment.
So, the big question is, why this tree? Why the Great Fir Tree? Well, the story explains that it's reached the end of its most productive stage. It's fully grown, strong, and mature. And throughout its life, it's done this incredibly important job of absorbing tons and tons of CO2. So now, its wood is ready for a totally new purpose.
The book actually breaks this whole process down into 3 really clear steps. First up, you have the arrival and the meeting, that initial assessment. Then, step 2 is the respiration check. That's where Antonella makes sure the tree is healthy and that it's completed its main CO2 absorbing job. And finally, step 3, the mark is made. But, and this is so important, only after a new little sapling is ready to take its place.
And this right here, this is the absolute heart of sustainable management, and it's just shown so beautifully. One mature tree is chosen, and a brand new one is planted. I mean, the story calls this tiny sapling the breath of the future. It's all about ensuring that the forest's life cycle and its amazing air-purifying work just keeps on going. So, that brings us to the next chapter of the journey. The tree's first life in the forest might be over, but believe me, its story is far from finished. It's about to kick off its second life. The log then begins its journey out of the woods, and the story really makes a point of showing how this is done. It's handled gently, with a lot of respect for all the other trees and animals. This isn't some chaotic, destructive mess. It's a careful, well-planned harvest. And now we get to what is, for me, the most powerful message in the whole book. It's actually shouted out by one of the animals in the forest. It's this idea that a tree's value doesn't just stop when it's cut down. It gets transformed. The key takeaway, the big idea, is wood lives twice. So what is this second life? Well, it's becoming a home for people.
All that wood, which has been storing carbon for decades, is now used to build houses. So you see the full circle. The tree goes from being a home for forest creatures to being a home for a human family. Pretty amazing.
So you might be wondering, why go to all this trouble? Why put all this into a coloring book? Well, let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture, because this seemingly simple project is actually a really sophisticated strategy for the future.
The goals here are just crystal clear. First, it's about educating kids on the true value of wood as a renewable material. It's about raising a generation that really understands that forest-to-home supply chain so they can make smart choices as they grow up. Really, it's about creating a whole culture of sustainability from the ground up.
And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. By taking this super complex, and let's be honest, often controversial, supply chain, and turning it into a simple, relatable story, the real goal is to build respect. Because when you understand that whole journey, from that tiny sapling to the huge mature tree to the forester's careful decision, all the way to the final home, you just can't help but value that material so much more.
And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? This whole project is just such a powerful reminder that how we communicate these big ideas is absolutely key. I mean, if a simple coloring book can explain the future of a forest, it really makes you wonder, right? What other huge, important ideas could we unlock for everyone if we just found a way to make them a little bit simpler?